All right, you guys, it is Jumbo Shark 19, and I'm back at you with another Dokkan battle video. And this time, I am doing a little bit of a community reaction, just a kind of a mini one, and it's really about the hero celebration. Because the news came out, the hero celebration video came out yesterday, and the global producers letter came out, which detailed the Heroes collab units, a bunch of details, including that this is going to be, in fact, the very last Heroes collaboration celebration, because with the end of Super Dragon Ball Heroes in Japan, and the rise of Dragon Ball Divers, there's no more Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I think like it's like a game mode in Divers, but like it's like they really don't want you to play it type of thing. They want to move on. Um, they want to sell you more cards. Really, what it comes down to. But the fact of the matter is that this is the last hero celebration, and a lot of people were really hoping for Evolution Blue Gogeta, um, and even I saw some people thinking about Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 or Kaioken Gogeta, something like that. And that's how awesome Heroes was, right? Like those are all awesome in and of themselves. But unfortunately, that's not what we got, and a lot of people are let down. A lot of people are let down. I wish I had recorded this yesterday because on X it was trending. It was trending saying Dokkan disappointment or something along those lines. Excuse me. And so it was trending. It was a big deal. So I made this thread, um, completely misspelled reaction. I was doing it on my phone. I fat thumbed it, but alas, community reaction. How are you feeling about the last batch of Dragon Ball Hero characters? In my personal opinion, that I stated in my previous video on the reveal of the units, is I think they're underwhelming. Like I think all things considered, when you really look at it, especially in the context of it being the last celebration, um, no Gogeta is really disappointing. But at the same time, I don't think like I was still holding out hope, but when you look at it, it does seem not surprising because there has not been another Gogeta unit from Heroes. For whatever reason, never been a Gogeta unit. It's only been Vegito. So I guess not getting Gogeta is an unexpected, but still disappointing in my opinion. I think some of the characters are just like, why do you even care type of thing. Like they barely got any screen time. I don't know. We'll have to again. We'll have to see their kits. I mean, I think there's a difference between like them being good hype, like oh, there's hype around the kits, and I think there's a difference between like there's hype around the type of the character itself. At least Goku is a new named Goku, but I don't know. Universe tree absorbed that. I don't know. You know. I think it's underwhelming, but that's just me. So I wanted to get some of the community's reaction, and there's a few here, so I wanted to go over them. So my friend Mr. Tux here, waiting on the kits, and that's understandable. Like I see that point of view. There is a certain hype around the kits, right? I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully they make them busted, because they said they were gonna not have restrictions on them. So hopefully they keep to their word, and that means there's no restrictions. Like they're not cheeky and like, oh, there's no more Dragon Ball Heroes restrictions, but we didn't say, no crossover or something like that, right? Or time travelers. So hopefully, hopefully they're super busted. As of right now, as of this recording, we have the EZA details, but we do not have the new unit details yet. Tapion the God, my friend, Says depends on how they look kit wise. Would have been better unit wise if it was a Gogeta, but I'll take it. So he's so on it. Um, so and again, I see that point of view. Like the kits can make up for it. Like if they're super busted, it can make up for it. Make up for their lack of hype as the unit themselves, if that makes sense. Um, but I don't know. The heroes units never. They're always like pretty good for the meta, but then like anniversary comes around, and it's like it's always like by the time anniversary comes around. And listen, I'm a huge heroes defender. I love heroes. I've always summoned on them. I'll be summoning for these ones. Don't get it twisted. But it's hard to defend. Like it's kind of hard to defend this year. And like the patterns are the patterns. Like year after year of the same trends. Um, it becomes undeniable. You know. So Joe saying, final season of Heroes, final round of Heroes. The units make sense. So he's saying, that the selection of units makes sense for the time period that they are celebrating. Players are just not happy about it and wanted a more flashy end, which I get. Yes, understandable. It is what it is. Majority of heroes have always been collection pieces, though. So, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, right? Like the majority of the heroes cards have never been more than just like little collection pieces in your boxes. Units that maybe you can get a little use out of, like for a month or two, but then just collect dust. There's no doubt about that. And yes, Super Saiyan 3 Vegito would have been awesome. Um, that's just it. Look at that fit. Like that's just yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. The Sweet Bro 27. They seem pretty rad. I think if Amatsu knew this was the last Hero Celebration, he would have gotten different characters. But he plans years in advance. Hope the kits are fire. That'll be enough for me. Okay, so fair enough. Again, Sweet Bro saying that the kits are good enough. And he does have a good point. Like, there's no telling if Omatsu knew this was going to be the last year. So maybe this, they just had this planned already, and then that's it, right? Um, it's possible, but like the thing is though, like Gogeta would have been in this time slot. Like he was the next character to come up canonically or categor I don't even know canonically, categorically, timeline wise, through the way they've released the units, the arcs. So now there is still hope, right? Because this celebration is 4 weeks and not 2 weeks. So there's some rumors, there's some murmurs that maybe part two LR. Maybe that's the Gogeta. Maybe it's a 200% Carnival Dragon Ball Hero send off Gogeta. It's possible. With Dragon Ball Heroes not getting more buffs in the future, though, like I think that'd be a tough sell. I mean, it's Gogeta, right? Gogeta sells himself, but the leader skill would have to be different then. I don't know. I don't see them doing that without it getting buffs in the future. I We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they're hiding that Gogeta away, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. But I'm definitely could be wrong for sure. Throw it in my face. That's totally fine. I hope I'm wrong. A Gogeta 1089. The sad Buzz Lightyear disappointment. DVC Link says it's a W, so he's hyped. And I think there is some stuff to be hyped about. Like with the Easy A details, Mecha Kabura's looking real good. He's looking really good. And I think the other ones are decent. Like they might be able to spot fill in here and there. Um, as with always, not to. I'm gonna make my own video. I'm gonna make a separate video on the Easy A's. So I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like they're heroes Easy A's. At the end of the day, it's the same trend that we've seen year after year after year. Except for Mecha Kabura seems really really good. So that's cool. Chow saying they're cool. Some people are overreacting. And I can see that. Like people saying this is the worst ever. I don't think it's overreacting to say if like you're disappointed. And overall, the celebration does seem kind of flat for like a finale. Um, like we're getting two stages of a difficult event, but you know, heroes difficult. So I don't know. We'll still have to see. Again, there's still more they could be hiding, and maybe the units are just busted. Maybe without the restrictions, they just maybe Tree of Might Goku has like guard and damage reduction and supports guaranteed crits. I'm just saying. So ACGC says last year I came back to Dokkan because of Heroes. That's a strong statement. Coming back to a game after being away for sure. This year I'm more inclined to skip than ever, just because I don't like the animations so far. Yeah, the animations I thought were kind of weak as well overall. And anniversary, right? We have joint anniversary in 3 months. It's hard to justify summoning, even if it's the last one. Anniversary's gonna power creep them so hard. And I don't think this is like coping or anything like that. Like this is just what the patterns show, right? This is what it's been year after year. They do get power crept, so we'll have to see. The kits are not out yet, so we'll have to hopefully keep a little optimistic. But this is understandable, and I do think it's kind of sad. Like it is disappointing in that sense because last year made you come back, and now this year it's like it's the last celebration for Heroes, and you know it's a little disappointing. Ultra coming in saying, as much as I love Heroes, it just feels like they dropped the ball a bit. No Gogeta or UI Goku, which would make them bucket loads of money. It would. And being the last celebration and not including such hype stuff to end on leaves a bad taste. Again, I think that's a reasonable take. I really do. Um, it's disappointing. I think this would have been the perfect time. Like the only reason they don't drop a Gogeta is if like for some reason he's off limits. Like I tweeted about this the other day, or zittered it, whatever, zeeted it, whatever you want to call it. But I talked about this idea that perhaps for some reason the Gogeta forms were off limits. That's the like why else? Because it's like Ultra says here, like it would just print bucket loads of money. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Kaneji 75. I was a little excited, but then I saw the double Goku animation. Now I want a copy of Blueku. Okay, and fair enough. Like I think the animations overall, in my opinion, are a little weak, but I believe it's gonna be a unit super attack um, with a double Goku is really cool. So that is a cool attack. Unless it's like an active skill or something, maybe I don't know. I'm assuming it's a unit super, but I could be wrong on that for sure. I just want to see great design units, like the animations. Fair enough, Yusuke. Fair enough. You just hope the units are good and hope their kits are good. I'm gonna look at the quotes real quick. So Rev Evil says, like every year, I feel like it's the easiest skip of all time. Yeah, I mean, if you're not a collector, like if you're really not a fan of Heroes and you're not interested in like collecting pieces, like having stuff just to have the units just to say you have them or know that you have them, um, it's hard to disagree. Like if pattern holds true, which I don't see why it wouldn't. By the time anniversary comes around, the heroes units are just gonna not really be runnable or barely runnable. So, the banners themselves are usually really good, guaranteed featured, but I, honestly, with the 10th anniversary, with it being the 10th anniversary specifically, and it being the first joint celebration, like they're gonna go all out, I think. So not a bad idea just to hold off. My friend Spider Man here saying could have been better for sure, but it's not that bad. I think some people are just butthurt because we didn't get Gogeta. True, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I just hope the easy are godly. That's all I want. Well, Mecha Kabura, by all accounts, Mecha Kabura does look godly. So at least we got one. I haven't taken a good look at the other ones, so We'll have to see. Um, and then I think a couple more right here. Zaffa saying he's fine with the celebration. The amount of people crapping on it because of Gogeta is stupid. I mean, I understand there might be some people taking it a little too far. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. I don't think that. I do think some people once they see the kits will kind of like, be more okay with it. But I do think that it's okay to be disappointed, and I think that's understandable. My friend Banjo here saying, I think it's cool. Sucks that it's the last one, but the lineup isn't as bad as people make it out to be. Again, fair enough. And then Yusuke again saying that he cannot wait. So that's kind of the initial community reaction, at least my small corner of the community that chose to respond here. But from what I've seen overall, it does look like most people are kind of down right now. So we'll have to see. I think the kits being really good will do a lot of heavy lifting, but they've got to be good. So we'll see. Next video, I'm gonna be checking out the Easy A's, so stay tuned for that. But until then, it's been Jumbo Shark 19. Have a good one.